What's good, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Excuse the appearance. I'm gonna be getting ready today while I just chat with you guys and kind of catch up on life a little bit. I want to talk a bit about social media consumption and how it can affect us, especially as people who maybe want to, sorry, Deku's trying to get in. I was like, what's going on? How it can affect you, especially as someone who's a creative and wants to express yourself online through content in any form. I think that social media consumption and that balance of consuming and posting can be such a tricky one, and it's something that I'm definitely kind of getting better at as I'm getting older, and you know, just like learning about just how to be better at doing this and expressing myself authentically. Like at the end of the day, like the more you're consuming, I think we kind of all know, like the more social media that you're consuming, the more of an effect it's going to have on your mental health. And I feel like we're kind of at like a really weird stage in humanity where it's like a lot of us have experienced life before social media. And I just feel like it's like a really crazy place to be when you really zoom out and think about humanity and like the fact that we literally have never been this connected before ever. And like social media is like, I love it because I learn so much. I feel like I connect with you guys. I connect with so many different people, and it's just like a really fun and easy way to express yourself. But it's also just such a scary thing when you really think about it. And it's very much new, and I don't think we fully understand the ways in which it's affecting our mental health, especially like when you're thinking about like coming out of the pandemic. Like I honestly feel like most of us have been affected mentally in some way. Like I feel like there's like gray matter in all of our brains, and like some of us like to some degree are like very much addicted to this virtual reality that we've created. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this book, or like there's also a movie, it's called Ready Player One. It's like one of my favorite books ever, and I always think about it because I feel like social media is almost becoming like that. Like think like WALL-E, like the idea of living in a world where we're more plugged into a virtual setting than we are like real life. I feel like that's already kind of like becoming a thing, and that's like already kind of like what we're turning into, especially since the pandemic. And when you think about things like short form content and how easy it is to just consume for hours, it's just like a lot of us are like kind of stuck in this loop of consumption almost. And it's just kind of scary when you really think about it. And it is very dystopian, but in a way also I'm trying to remember that like nothing is really good or bad. Like everything just kind of happens as it's supposed to, or at least that's what I believe. And I do feel like there is a lot of positive benefits to social media. Like that's obviously why we enjoy it as much as we do. And like I literally get like I make a living from doing social media, you know what I'm saying? So like there is a lot of benefit from having it. So I'm just saying this all to say that like I try not to demonize social media too much, because I do feel like it's very easy to do that, and it's very easy for me to sometimes be like, fuck social media, like I'm deleting all my apps, I'm quitting, whatever. But it's like, girl, I still love posting. Like I still post on TikTok, I still post on Instagram. I love posting on all three of these apps, and I do enjoy it from an expression standpoint. And so I really want to talk today kind of about how you can maybe make that shift from having this unhealthy relationship with social media that I think a lot of us have had at some point in our lives, shifting from that to using it as kind of like a tool for your self-expression and how to really have the discipline so that you can do that. Okay, my eyebrows lately have been really annoying me. I ran out. I always buy these like little Anastasia eyebrow pencils, and I really like them, but they always break off, and there's like not that much product. So I feel like I'm like wasting my money buying them because I never get that much use out of them. So I always have to go back to my pomade, which I know is so like 2016, but girl, it works for me. So I'm just gonna try to, my makeup's not gonna be perfect today. It's just like it's literally the 4th of July. Like I'm not gonna be really doing much today. I just like wanted to kind of get myself together a little bit. I think I'm gonna go like play basketball later. And like do some stuff outside. I also am like so excited because Love Island Casa Amor is getting crazy right now. So I think today is like the y'all don't care, but it's like a recoupling day for Casa Amor. So if you watch Love Island, you guys know it's gonna be a crazy day today. So anyways, back to social media. Yeah, I just think for me, the biggest thing that has really helped me on my journey being a creator is learning to kind of just consume less and to really like, I think the biggest thing, because when you really think about at its core, what social media is, really what it is like us being concerned with other people and what they're doing, right? And so like, I know it's so easy to be like, oh, I want to reduce my screen time. I want to consume less, blah, 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 blah. But I think when you really dissect what that means and what that looks like and how that feels subconsciously, I think a lot of what it is allowing yourself to care less about what other people are doing. And I feel like that sounds so much easier than it actually is, because I feel like once you kind of get used to like, you know, you're gonna have your favorite people online that you love watching. Like there's so many girls that I love watching and just seeing what they're up to. And you know, it's fun to be on social media when you're using it in a healthy way. But sometimes I think that like, again, because this is like become so normalized for us. Oh, I just messed that up. Oh my God, this nose, hold on, let me stop talking because this nose is gonna look insane. I don't usually contour my face, but I'm trying to like learn to do it better. Wow, this nose contour looks so bad. I think it's so normal to like care about what other people are doing and all that stuff. Like when you think it's totally normal to have people that you like checking in on and like watching, like again, I have my favorite girls. I still love watching like Aaliyah's face. I still love watching, oh my God, there's so many girls that I still love watching. Honestly, actually, I will take that back. I do still like certain people a lot, but I noticed for myself, even lately, I've just been not watching as much just because, again, I've been on social media less. But there's still people that like I think about and I'm like, what are they up to? Like what's going on? Like it's just like nice to like see like life updates and like see what people are up to. But I think also there came a point for me, I don't know when it was. I think I've had this point like multiple times when I would watch certain people and I'm like, okay, like it would kind of hit me. It's like, I really admire the way that they're living their life, but I'm noticing that sometimes it can be so comfortable watching someone live their life and do the things rather than actually putting in the work that's necessary for me to be living that life myself. And not even that life specifically, because I feel like there's nobody's life that I want more than my own, but it's sometimes like, it can be so easy to experience the world through the lens of someone else so that you almost feel this like tiny sense of satisfaction of like, okay, like, you know, you're watching a vlog, it's like someone travel in a vlog, right? And it feels like you're almost there, but really you're not. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that sometimes I think we can get so caught up in the watching that we're not putting, like, it's almost taking away from the time that we could be spending to work on ourselves and to maybe be posting ourselves that we can eventually afford to go on the trip that someone else is going on, or, you know, whatever. I think just sometimes it can take away from the actual doing that's necessary for us to be living the life that we want to be living, if that makes sense. And so I've noticed for myself that there's been multiple points where I kind of like noticed that feeling within myself, and I'm like, damn, like, girl, sometimes I'll be like just scrolling on TikTok day after day, watching people, you know, go to events, and like there's like such like a stereotypical influencer lifestyle that I do not live by any means. Like, you guys, if you guys watch me, you guys know, like I go to events sometimes, but like I've never gone like on a brand trip. There's so many things that I've just never done. Like I want to do those things. Like I'm not like high and mighty above everybody else, like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like, no, I would love to do these things, but sometimes like when I really think about it, I'm like, do I really deserve that? Because I see girls posting 3, 4, 5 times a day on TikTok. I see some girls posting 2 times a week on YouTube. I'm not doing that, you know what I'm saying? And so it's not to be harsh on myself, but I think when we're being honest with ourselves, when we sometimes look at other people and we're like, damn, I really want to be living that life. I think when we're being honest with ourselves, I think sometimes you kind of have to ask yourself, like, am I even doing the things, like putting in the work to even have that life? And chances are usually you're not, because if you were, then you would be seeing more payoff. You know what I'm saying? And it's a complicated and tricky thing, because especially with the influencer industry, it's like, it's so saturated. There's only so many opportunities for so many people, especially being a Black woman. Like, I think that our opportunities are a lot more limited, and brands are just weird and whatever. I think the whole influencer industry and like brand trips and all that stuff is honestly like the least important thing to me, but I'm just using this as an example of like the watching versus the doing. Like, if there are certain things that you want out of life, sometimes you have to kind of take a step back and like look at like, okay, if other people are doing these things, like, what am I doing to actually work towards getting to that goal? And maybe for you, you know, going on brand trips, going to events, whatever, is not the goal. Maybe it's just literally having financial freedom and being able to quit your job and, you know, being able to have freedom over your time. Like, that was a huge goal for me. And I think in order for me to even get to this point, there was a moment, and I think it was like around the pandemic, when I really had to kind of like tell myself, okay, you can watch people that you really like, but like, you have to put in the work if you want to get there. And there was definitely like, I was grinding, like I was doing the stuff, I was putting in the work, because I really wanted to get to this point. And I'm really grateful to be at the point that I'm at. But you know, obviously, again, like, you always want to be doing more and just being the best version of yourself. And so for me, I think the biggest thing like this year has really been just allowing myself to like take a step back from consumption, so that I can really work on like having healthier habits and, you know, just like being the best version of me that I can be. So anyways, I feel like I kind of like lost the plot of what I was trying to say. I'm trying to contour, and I don't know if this looks very good. I really need to go get a tan, because I feel like that will really help my makeup look a lot better. But yeah, I'm saying this all to say that like, if you find yourself, even if you don't want to be like a content creator or whatever, like if you just find yourself in a habit of consuming a lot and just being on social media, and you notice that it's affecting you in any way, just know that it's very much normal. I think every single person has been there, but also like, I really think the key to like having better mental health, honestly, is to just reduce the consumption. And instead of like looking at it as like this punishment of like, oh, my screen time needs to go down, or I need to be doing this less, I just really encourage you to focus on where, like, what do you want to spend that time doing instead? And what are you adding to your life? Like, do you want to be spending more time? Are you working on your physical health, your fitness, going to the gym more, doing yoga, Pilates, whatever that may be? Is that a focus for you? Or is it like reading more, or just putting in more work towards, again, creating content? Like, whatever it may be, I really encourage you to focus on the things that you really do want out of life, the things that you do want to put in energy and effort into day to day, and make that like the thing that you really romanticize. And honestly, I feel like that's like a huge way that you can really transform your relationship with discipline and with working towards the things that you want, because you're able to kind of look at it as like, okay, this isn't like, even though it's not always exciting day to day to put in the work to get to where you want to be with anything in life, when you start romanticizing it and really focusing in on your life and how you can make your life better and your life the best that it can be, it just changes everything. And I feel like everything that I'm saying is so obvious, so it almost kind of sounds dumb to even be saying it, but I just feel like sometimes we just like need those reminders. And for me, when I found myself in this like really weird place of like, fuck, I don't want to create, I don't want to do anything, like whenever I find myself feeling down, and not even just like I don't want to create, but like a lot of for me, a lot of it is tied with like mental health. So like when I find myself in a place of like, oh, I don't even want to get up and do anything today, I don't want to leave the bed, like whatever, I have to remind myself that like I am so blessed to have the life that I have. I'm so blessed to have my health. I'm so blessed to be able to wake up every single day and have the ability to even walk myself to the gym or buy myself groceries or cook myself a meal. And like that is such an amazing thing when you really think about it. Like when you really like take the time to kind of slow down from like what's going on online and really focus on the blessing that is your life day to day. I just feel like you kind of start noticing it more and more. Like you kind of start recognizing like the beauty that is this given moment and where you're at this point in your life. And I just feel like you can kind of focus more in on yourself when you're not comparing yourself constantly to what other people have going on. Because I'm telling you, girl, like, even as someone who does do content creation full time, there's always someone to be comparing yourself to. There's always someone, there's always like the next level that you can be reaching. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I just think it really, really honestly comes back down to gratitude and coming back to like, damn, like, okay, day to day, like, how can I be the best version of myself? And when you are really focused on that, I just feel like you're less worried about what other people are doing. Okay, let me go ahead and change my battery on my camera because it's gonna die, and then we will resume in 2 seconds. Okay, we're back. I kind of want to shift into now like talking about how to post without really caring about what other people think, or like how to get into a good habit of posting. So that's something that I think if you want to be a content creator, even if whatever, like if you want to express yourself in any way, you can honestly apply these same concepts. Hold on, let me get myself together because clearly I'm not. If you're kind of trying to figure out like, okay, like how can I post without, like, we got the consumption thing out the way. We talked about that. We get it. Like, just consume less, right? But when you want to start posting more and expressing yourself in any way, I think the biggest things is to, one, recognize that like you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to come on camera and literally be the perfect person. I know that we want to, like, we sometimes see people who appear perfect on camera and like we're not noticing their flaws, but every single person who posts online is noticing their own flaws and is noticing not even just like their physical flaws, but that, like, you know, being a human being, there's always going to be something going on. Like life is not perfect for everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's always something that like we kind of, you know, have to work on with ourselves, within ourselves as well. And so never going to be perfect. And there's no point in trying to wait. Because that's the thing, was like we want to wait and we don't want to post. We don't want to come on camera. We don't want to talk about anything. We don't want to share anything until we've gotten through certain periods of our lives, or until we feel like we look perfect, or until a certain point is hit. But like, I just think it's really important to remember that like, oh God, this is gonna be way too much blush. Hold on. Also, is this still falling? Like, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I literally don't know what else to do. But like, even this is an example, like even when it comes to the gear, when it comes to how you film, like, girl, when I started this channel, I started my channel on my iPhone. You know what I'm saying? And like, you can go back and look at my old videos. Some of my first few videos, I had it on my iPhone, and I would literally set up the iPhone and I would put it in my like window blinds and balance it in my blinds. Like the camera would be like moving and I'd be talking, and like the videos would still do, like the videos still did well. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just think it's really important to recognize that, like, first of all, when you're trying to post anything online, you're never going to be perfect. And there's probably a really good chance that like when you film yourself and you go to edit yourself, there might be something that you notice that you don't like. And there's a good chance that you're not going to love the way that you look, or, you know, you're never going to be perfect. So I think when you let go of the perfection thing, I think it makes posting and expressing yourself so much easier, because you recognize that like it's never that serious. Like, nobody is looking for you to be perfect. It's just the whole point of posting and expressing yourself is really not even so much about how you're being perceived. It's not about the money, which I know that we want to make it about that because it does seem like a really easy way to escape the 9-to-5 and to reach financial freedom. I get it, but it's not even about the money. It's not about the views. It's not about any of that stuff. All of this, like you posting yourself, you expressing yourself online, it's a journey. It's a way for you to literally get closer with yourself. I would call it a spiritual journey. I know some people wouldn't call it that, but like, I see it genuinely as like a spiritual journey. Like, it's a way for you to really, I don't know, just express yourself. And it's important. It's a really, really important way to learn about yourself, and to not even just learn about yourself, but to like connect with others. Like, it's just such a meaningful thing. I don't know if I love the way my blush looks. Also, you guys probably have noticed, but I like literally don't use brushes anymore. I just refuse. I think it's because like when I use brushes, I just don't clean them enough. Like, I just never feel like it. So when I use my hands, I just feel like my skin just appreciates it a lot more. Anyways, I'm saying this all to say that like, I feel like you have to make your, whenever you're posting anything, it has to be more about you, because at the end of the day, what's gonna happen is like, when you are posting and you inevitably like have something that does numbers and does well and gets views, there's like, it's so easy to get attached to that external validation, and it's so easy to get attached to what people are saying about you and to positive comments and all these different things. But there's also going to be a day when like you're going to post something and it's not going to be as positive, and some people are not fucking with it, or people are not liking you. There's, you know, we see it on social media all the time, especially with like really, really big creators. It ebbs and flows. The algorithm ebbs and flows, right? And so it's like when you're attached to these like external things, when you're posting, you're inevitably always going to end up disappointed, because that's just how it goes. Like you literally, I can tell you from personal experience, go look at my last video, it doesn't have that many views. And like, I probably can tell you honestly, if I'm being real with you, subconsciously, I feel like that's what's made me not want to film a video since, because it's like when you get used to getting a lot of views, and then you start like, I'm not gonna go on a tangent about it. It's just like, this is a very natural and human thing. The way that these algorithms are designed and the way that social media is designed, it's gamified, right? And so whether you're on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or whatever it may be, wherever you like to post, these things are gamified in a way that like you literally are gonna feel a psychological effect when you post a video and it doesn't do as well. And you have to learn to not be so attached to the results and the outcome of things. And I feel like you have to just learn to make the journey and the like you posting about the journey of it, and about the message that you're trying to get out, or the, you know, picture. How do you want people to feel when they see that picture of you? Are you expressing yourself through fashion, through makeup, whatever it may be? What is that thing? Like what, like don't make it so much about how many people are seeing it, because at the end of the day, like these things are not real. I mean, I know like it looks real and it seems real and it does convert to dollar signs and all these different things, but like, girl, it doesn't matter. You have to just post it, and you have to just do it. And if it doesn't work out, then fine. Like you can post for 5-10 years and maybe nobody ever views your stuff. And that's a reality that can happen. But it's like, again, if you're gonna do the things, it cannot be about the results. It has to be about you just doing it and showing up every single day, because you never know. There could be literally one video that you post suddenly, and that's the one that resonates with everybody, and it takes off and it changes your life. But you wouldn't know unless you just continue posting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know it's really frustrating sometimes to hear, especially from someone who's already kind of like gotten through, and I've had success and I've had a lot of luck, and there's a lot of privilege that comes into play with that, right? We think about pretty privilege and people's internal biases. There's so many different things that go into play with social media. So I know it can be sometimes kind of like annoying to hear people talk about it. But I really, really, really encourage you just to not make it about the external things. I'm telling you, even once you do make it to a certain point that you want to get to, it's still gonna fuck with you. And it's probably gonna fuck with you even more, honestly, when you think about it. Because like once this becomes your full-time job, girl, imagine the amount of money that you're making is tied to your views. If you don't figure that out internally, how to disattach from that and how to have a healthy relationship with it, it's gonna drive you crazy. You can see it online. It literally drives some people bonkers. So yeah, that's like kind of one thing. Also, I was gonna say that, hold on, let me do my mascara and then we'll talk. I'm using the Tarte mascara because I really like this one. I've also been really loving not having fake lashes. Not gonna lie, I feel like it's really changing the game for me. I feel like my face looks so much cleaner. I feel like I had like lash blindness. Like I didn't realize, like none of y'all fucking told me. Maybe some of y'all did, maybe I just ignored it, but my face was looking like heavy with the lashes, you know? Look at the difference in my lashes with the mascara and no mascara. I feel like my lashes are actually kind of long too. Like I didn't realize that until I took off my lashes. Anyways, the other thing I was gonna say also is that like the way that I kind of look at things now is like how I've kind of really like started to develop like a healthier relationship with posting. It's just like really looking at my pages, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, as like really just a catalog for myself, like to look back on and to really like see like, okay, like this is the day that I was, you know, it's really just a catalog for, it's like a scrapbook, you know what I'm saying? Like when I vlog like my trips, I know it's like fun to like, for me, it's like fun to share it with you guys, but also like a huge part of that is like me also just having the memories to look back on myself later on. You know what I'm saying? And even like with Instagram, I know some people hate posting on Instagram, but for me, honestly, girl, I just turn off my likes on Instagram. And I just started posting on Instagram. Like, I've been doing this lately. Like, I post almost every single day on Instagram now. Not every day, but like most days I do. One thing that's really helped me with that is just like kind of pretending like it's like a blog. Like, I kind of just like post what I feel like posting, and I don't really think about it because, again, my likes are off. Like, you know, I know some people like don't like doing that, but like for me, it's kind of helped me. Like, I literally just don't care. Even though like on Instagram, like people will follow you like from real life, like guys, like there's like that whole thing. It's just kind of like a weird place. But like, even then it's just like, bro, this is literally my fucking page. Like, if you don't like it, if you don't like what I'm posting, then unfollow me. Like, I literally still just like, I lose followers almost every time I post on Instagram. Like, I haven't gained like a lot of followers like in a long time. But like, again, I don't care. And I feel like I probably should be coming on here and like telling you guys more about like how to grow and how to do these things. But I just don't feel like it's about that. Like, I don't know, maybe this is like not the video for like certain people, but for me, I think that if you're gonna be posting on social media and you're making it all about money and views and all these different things, you're gonna end up disappointed. And I feel like you just have to make it more about the fun, like silence out the noise in whatever way you can. And honestly, one thing that's also really helped me do that is like when I do post, I just kind of like post and then I get off the app. Like, I might go back and like answer comments like later. Like, I always try to look at my comments, but like I will post and I'm not gonna sit there and just like wait and see like, okay, how's this doing? Like, even on YouTube, like I used to always check like YouTube Studio and like, you know, see the tally for how many, you know, whatever. I just cannot do it anymore because I just really feel like, hold on, let me do this. I just kind of like post and go. And then even like on TikTok, like y'all also like, let this be a testament. I literally lost all my followers on TikTok. You guys saw I got my TikTok banned. And now I have like not that many followers, but I literally post on TikTok like 4 or 5 times a day. Not that much. I post like maybe 2 or 3 times a day. And I just kind of do it for fun. Like, it's just like for shits and giggles. Like, it's really not that serious. So I feel like that's just the biggest thing, is just kind of like learning to like disattach from the outcome again. And also just like making it your own personal, it's like a treasure. It's not a treasure chest. It's like your own personal, I don't know, blog. It's just fun. Like, it doesn't need to be that serious. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like also the other thing too, is like, I think that people are taking social media like less seriously now. And I feel like that kind of helps as well. Just really a way to express yourself and hopefully find people who resonate and vibe with you, and like, you know, building that online community. Like, it's a fun thing. Like, really, it does not need to be that serious. And I feel like when you kind of like recognize that, it just makes it so much more fun and enjoyable to post. I feel like when you kind of start developing like that healthier relationship with your own posting and your own like self-expression, I feel like it also makes it a lot easier to like consume less, because you're not like idolizing people and like putting people like on a pedestal, and you recognize that, again, nobody is perfect. Everybody's just like living their life. And honestly, life is so much more enjoyable when you're going out and living it and focusing on your own life, right? And, you know, expressing yourself whenever you feel like it. Like, I feel like social media, when you're using it more for self-expression than you are consumption, life just becomes so much better. Your mental health becomes better. It becomes so much more fun. Again, I love scrolling sometimes and just getting lost on TikTok and finding funny things to laugh at. And, you know, there's a lot of girls that I still love to keep up with. But again, I have a life to live, and we all have lives to live. And I feel like you just have to pour more into your own life, find your hobbies, find your things that you like doing. I've been really into reading, and again, the gym, yoga, whatever, cooking. I've been cooking a lot. Follow me on TikTok, by the way. If you guys don't already follow me on there, I post like a lot of that stuff on there, and it's like very fun, light, whatever stuff. But that's just like really what I've been into. And I feel like, again, like, because I've been really so focused on my things and expressing myself when I am doing those things, I don't really have as much time to consume and to be scrolling. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's really not so much, I'm saying this all to say that you don't need to make, I think for me, for the longest time, when it came to certain things like with discipline and habits and bad habits, cutting them out, you know, building routine, whatever, I used to be so focused on giving up the things that I felt like were bad for me. For me, what's really helped me have a healthier relationship with discipline and just taking care of myself, taking care of my mental health, all that stuff, has been really focusing in on the things that I do enjoy doing and the things that do excite me, instead of focusing so much on the things that I'm trying to take away. So yeah, I feel like when it comes to social media, expressing yourself, just post, express yourself, put yourself out there. Don't be scared, you know, don't be scared to be cringy. Like, nobody cares about you that much, honestly, to be honest. Also, like, nobody's thinking about you that hard, you know what I'm saying? So just live your life and, you know, use social media as a tool or like a fun little way to express the life that you get to live, but don't live life for social media, right? So yeah, hopefully that made some sense, you guys. Hopefully this was enjoyable in some way. I definitely just rambled a lot, but let me know if you guys like this style of video. Like I said, I'll be leaving a link to all the products that I use down below. So if you guys do have any questions, then you guys can see that stuff down there. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know how you guys are doing. Are you having a good week, a good weekend? And yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.